What is going on, everybody? It's Alex, and today we have a lot of new news on Fallout 76. So before we get started, if you guys enjoyed the content or you want to learn more about Fallout 76 or any other upcoming game, make sure to hit that sub button down below. And if you guys haven't already, make sure to follow me over on Twitch, OfficialFTG, as you guys can see. I stream nightly over there, so make sure you guys are following over there. Alright guys, let's get started on the video. Okay, so basically the rundown is a lot of people, whether it being, companies, reporters, content creators, whatever, a lot of people were flown out by Bethesda to play test the game. So everybody got 3 hours to play on the game, and that's why if you guys are subscribed to basically any content creator news forum, you're getting spammed right now with some Fallout 76 information. But basically, a whole bunch of people got flown out and they got to play the full release of Fallout 76, and they're able to talk about it in all of its glory. So we have a lot of information right now. Now, I want to kind of touch on everything, a lot of the new news, and there were some things that I was worried about that I feel are kind of, I'm a little less worried about right now. Honestly, that's basically what this is. There's no like crazy news or, life-changing things, but there's a lot of stuff we learned that's kind of like, okay, that makes me feel a lot better about the game. So the first thing I want to talk about is murdering. So notice I say the word murdering and not killing. Now that's very important because there's a difference in Fallout 76 between murdering and killing. Basically, they have a system set up where basically any fight between two players, not a player versus an AI, but a fight between two players has to be, we'll use the word consensual. Basically what I mean by that is if you shoot someone, they have to shoot you back. They don't have to necessarily make contact with you. They could miss all of their shots. But if you shoot someone and they try to fight back and then you end up killing them, you're fine. You can take all their loot, you can do whatever. That is a completely legal kill. However, if you shoot them and they're trying to run away from you and you just keep shooting them and then they die, that is considered a murder and you will get severely punished. So basically, two things can happen if you are considered a murderer in Fallout 76. First of all, if you have money, so caps in this game, basically there will be a bounty placed on your head where you are now a public enemy. Anybody in the game can kill you and they will receive that bounty on your head. Now, fun fact, that bounty comes from your money. So basically everyone has the right to kill you and now a reason to kill you, and they're going to kill you, and then you have to pay them for killing you. All right, so a pretty big incentive to not kill people, Now, you may be thinking like, all right, I know how to cheese this. What if I just don't have any money and then I kill someone? There's nothing they can do, right? Well, they kind of thought that through as well. You will still get punished. Now, obviously, they're not really going to take all your money because you don't have any. They said that they will take all of the money that you have. So I'm assuming that means if you kill someone, there will be a, say, 500 cap bounty. It kind of sounds like it's not going to be proportional to your amount of money you have or something like that. So it's not like, say Borderlands, where if you have, $1 billion, you lose 10% of that money no matter what. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that system. It seems like there's going to be a flat rate. And if you don't have a lot of money, they're going to take the rest of your caps. So whatever you have, and then they're going to set a debuff on you for 2 hours in game. So you can't just kill someone, get that debuff, and then exit the game, whatever, come back. It will be 2 hours of gameplay that you have a debuff, and that's pretty legit. What they said is they made it seem like the only thing your debuff would be is that your weapons won't do any damage. It won't do a significant amount of damage. So they compared it to pea shooters. You're basically going to walk around with a pea shooter for 2 hours. Now, that sounds really annoying. So I think they're really doing a good job of kind of like enforcing the law somewhat. So basically they're making it just fun for everybody. You can't just be that guy who's running around murdering everybody because you will get severely punished if you are that guy. I do actually like that they allow you to do that. Like sometimes it's just going to be fun to like screw with your friends and stuff, but you do get punished. You know what you're signing up for if you murder someone, So I really like that they have a system in there. I think it really levels the playing field. That was one of the things that I was really worried about. I was worried that people would be griefing and stuff like that. They mentioned that they had a system to prevent that, but I didn't really have a whole lot of faith in a system. But honestly, after this set of news and stuff, I feel like that system will work very well. So another thing that they touched on that I was really worried about was balancing between different levels of players. So for those of you that don't know, they've already announced that once you hit level 5 in Fallout 76, you are now open to PvP. So before then, I don't know if you're ghosted or what, but you're not going to be able to challenge enemies. But once you hit level 5, you can challenge anybody. You can get in fights with anybody. Anybody can challenge you. And what about the people that are already, you know, say you get the game a week late. Everyone's going to be running around as a really high level. They're going to have all this stuff. And then you're over here as a level 5. You're going to get annihilated. Well, that's not necessarily true. So they have a system where it's basically balancing. They kind of equalize the weapons. So say you're a level 5 and you have a pistol. You know, that may not really be that much less effective than a level 30 that has, say, an assault rifle or something like that. So basically, they have it set up pretty well to make things fair across the board. Now, if you are a higher level, you probably will have an advantage in a fight simply because you probably have more stim packs. You probably aren't going to be running out of ammo. You're probably more comfortable with everything, whereas someone who's new is probably still scavenging for just the basics. So your gear and stuff like that will definitely give you a great benefit, but it's not going to be to a point where you're just invincible and a low level can't touch you. You're still going to actually have to pay attention to what's going on. So in an article I'll link down in the description, there were a couple guys who got flown out to the Bethesda event and everything. They said they were all level 5s and 6s, so brand new. They were just starting, and they came across a level 50 who was a Bethesda employee. And they said that they challenged them. Now, they didn't say how many people there were, so for all we know, it could have been 15 people against this one Bethesda employee. But he made it sound like it was just a few of them. And they said they were able to take down the level 50 employees. That really shows, you know, you have someone who really understands the ins and outs of the game, you know, how to play, everything like that, being the level 50 employee. And then a few people that probably play games but don't really have a great idea of what's going on, and they were able to take him down. They said no problem. So that's really good. If they really do have a system that balances so well, I really like that. Personally, this may be a controversial opinion, but I don't believe that someone should just, because he grinds the game, because he plays more, he should be so much more powerful. I think he should have an easier time, he should have cooler things, but I don't believe he should just be, he should be a tank where everyone else is not. So I really like that they're making an effort to kind of level the playing field to an extent. So this is a VG247 article that I will have linked down in the description so you guys can read it in entirety for itself. But basically, this is an interview between someone and Jeff Gardner, who is the project lead for Fallout 76. So basically, the interviewer says, I wonder if this level playing field would be sustainable after a month or so when everyone is running around with high-level weapons such as Mini Nuke firing Fat Man Launcher. So basically, if you guys haven't played other Fallout games, there is a weapon in the game called a Fat Man, and it shoots mini nukes, and it is ridiculously overpowered. Now, that's something that I was thinking about. Like, yeah, people have different weapons and stuff, but if someone has something like a Fat Man or something like that, how is that going to be balanced at all? You're just going to be able to run around. Well, like I said, Jeff Gardner has a response that's really reassuring. He says right here, you're still bound by your inventory and weight limits. The Fat Man is heavy, and the shells are very heavy. You're not hoarding like in Fallout 4, so that's also a factor. So this is going to be inventory management, stuff like that. Yeah, you could become over-encumbered, but you could, in Fallout 4, Fallout 3, you could really carry a lot of stuff. I imagine they're going to have it set up where you really can't carry all that much. What I think this means is that since this game is going to be heavily base building, stuff like that, I think you're going to have to store all of your materials and weapons, ammo, stuff like that in your base. And then you're going to have to go out on expeditions where you can only carry essentials. So you're not just going to be this one-man army with everything you possibly need. You're probably going to have to choose, like, okay, a few stim packs, you know, one primary weapon and maybe a secondary weapon with that kind of ammo. And, you know, that's it. You're going to have to really, like, care, which I think will be really cool. You may have to work with your team to carry, like, have one guy who's a medic and one guy who's an ammo guy, stuff like that. That makes this really cool. I feel like they're doing a really good job with the balancing in this game. So something that they've talked about a lot, but haven't really given us a whole lot of details on that I think was worrying a lot of people, were the nukes in Fallout 76. Obviously, I, for one, was really worried that this was going to be a major griefing problem. Yeah, they made it obvious that it would be difficult. It's not like you're just going to be able to call in a nuke every 5 seconds and then destroy people, but I thought it was really going to be an issue. But it doesn't really sound like it is going to be an issue in that way. I thought it was going to be more of a weapon, like, oh, I want to kill this person, something like that, so I'm going to drop a nuke on them. It doesn't sound like that's really the purpose of nukes in Fallout 76. So basically, it's not as simple as just pressing a button and you launch a nuke. Apparently, you have to acquire codes, like launch codes, to launch this nuke. We don't know exactly how you acquire those codes, but it sounds like there's multiple codes, and it's not going to be something easy to do. You have to really get together and try to launch this nuke. But once you do, you pick a location on the map, and then it basically creates a blast radius zone on the map visible to everyone and gives you a few minutes to evacuate. So you can fast travel out of this location, you can walk out of this location. You have a few minutes to evacuate. It's not like it just immediately drops and you don't know what's happening. It's very easy to evacuate. So the griefing basically goes out the window. This is not going to be something that you really use for griefing. So then I beg the question, well, if this is not a weapon, if you're not dropping nukes to kill people, what are you dropping nukes for? Now, they said that basically once a nuke has been dropped, that whole area, the irradiated zone, basically it'll spawn high-level enemies and rare loot. So I don't know if it's going to create missions or it'll just be like challenges and stuff like that. But my guess is there's weapons, there's armor, there's certain things that are locked behind going into this irradiated zone. However, obviously a nuke was just dropped. You're not just going to be able to walk into this zone like nothing happened. They said you're either going to need a hazmat suit, power armor, I imagine specific power armor, or a lot of RadAway, but I imagine that's probably not going to be a very common thing to do. I imagine you would want a hazmat suit or power armor to go into some kind of nuclear fallout like that. So something they have in the game that I'm not a huge fan of is what you can see right here, and that is the VATS system. Now, we all knew this was going to be coming back, but I think a lot of us were wondering how it was going to work in a multiplayer game, because if you guys aren't aware, in previous Fallout games, VATS has always been a big system used. However, it slows time and it gives you extra accuracy and all of this, which clearly is not going to be something you're able to do in a multiplayer game. So it's something that I, for one, was very confused about how this was going to work, because I kept talking about VATS was going to be implemented, and honestly, I was scared that it was going to be exactly like it is. I think they have VATS in the game because VATS has always been in Fallout. I don't think it's a good system. I think if they're going to implement VATS, it needs to be implemented exactly how it is in Fallout 3, Fallout 4, how it's always been, but it's not going to work in Fallout 76. So to me, I think they should have just not had it. I think it should have been a typical first-person shooter or third-person shooter. You should be able to switch in between like Fallout games, but I think it should have stayed that way. I don't really think VATS is something necessary for the game. I will say I think it probably will have its use. I think you'll be able to, I think it'll be great for targeting enemies and stuff like that. You know, maybe seeing the chance that you have to hit somebody, but I think actually using VATS in a fighting scenario is probably going to be a bad bet. And from the videos that we've seen, the footage that we have, and you know, the testers' thoughts on it, I don't really think it's going to be a really good strategy to use while you're fighting. So the one bit of information that we got that may excite me more than anything else that we know about Fallout 76 is mod support. Now, me being a PC gamer and such a fan of Fallout, I love Fallout mods, and I cannot wait to get my hand on Fallout mods, especially since it's going to be custom servers. This is online. I think mod support for Fallout 76 is the best thing they could possibly do. Now, we got to preface this by saying that it's not going to come at launch, and it is not going to be coming anytime soon. Here's another article from VG247 with Jeff Gardner. It's the same interview, and basically Jeff Gardner says, "We love the modding community, and we've been supporting them for decades. We do plan to launch private worlds in the future where people can modify their servers as they see fit. We want to 100% support the community servers. That has been the goal with the game since day one. However, don't expect these options to land at launch or anytime near launch." So although this may be a little disappointing, I think everyone kind of saw this coming. This is probably the best case scenario. They're going to launch a game that is perfect. You know, Bethesda's always known for having funny glitches, and there's a lot of issues with the games. It's kind of the charm of Bethesda games, but I honestly kind of like the way they're doing it. I think if they release the game with custom servers and stuff like that at launch, first of all, I don't think I would get to experience the base game as much because I'd probably just be so excited about custom servers that I wouldn't even really touch this game, which would be very disappointing. Honestly, that would make me really sad. So I will definitely be able to do that. But also, that means that the base game, what most people are going to play, is going to be significantly more polished than if they actually added custom servers. They can dedicate more money and more resources, more time into the base game, which I think is the most important part. So we'll be able to experience this, we'll be able to really enjoy it, and then, you know, maybe my estimate would be we may start seeing things 6 months to a year after launch. So maybe holiday season 2019, something like that is when we may be getting things. I think that's pretty solid. So honestly, as much as it sucks, I want custom servers now. We're going to have to wait, but I think that's fine. So there it is, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for your support. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys did enjoy the content. Make sure to follow me on Twitch and Instagram. All of my social media is OfficialFTG, so you guys can find me super easy. But once again, thank you for watching the video. Peace out, guys.